Yo, what's going on, everyone? So we're back playing more games on temporary, not the actual temporary video. I'm sorry, it is what it is. And yeah, let's just get into it. All right, so up against I Hate You. That's pretty mean, honestly. I'm not a fan of that. Like, can you take that back? Yeah, you take that back. Take that back. Anyway, so he's got Night Goblins, so really well played there. Let's say well played. I wouldn't be toxic, but he just said that he hates me, so I think that's pretty fair. Like, why are you spreading hate in the world, buddy? Especially when it's not even, like, justified. If you're like, yeah, I hate you because, like, I don't know. Like, just literally any reason. If you're like, yeah, you suck and I just don't like your personality, I'd be like, oh, okay. But to say you hate me, like what do I do? Like, I don't do anything to you, buddy. Like, I could get a mustard packet and just, like, slap it on your face, and then, yeah, you'd probably hate me then, wouldn't you? Yeah, you probably would hate me, and that'd be pretty justified. But I don't do that to you. So that's pretty mean. You should probably take that back. Because that's not very nice. That is not. it's just really not nice. Like, you act like I'm beating up orphans and stuff, and I do not beat up orphans. So I don't know why you're saying you hate me. Anyway, sorry about that, but that was pretty rude. I think we can all agree with that. Okay, there we go. He does get a nice goblins off, despite the first one. Anyway, so what I want to talk about today before this guy. What the fuck? Okay, you know what? You know what? I hate you. Like, what is wrong with you, buddy? Like, first you say you hate me, then you do a terrible Night Goblins, and then you just go for a random naked graveyard. What is actually wrong with you? Like, come on, man. What are you doing? Can I commentate, or are you just going to be a goon? He's probably going to be a goon, I would have to assume. There's a pretty high likelihood of this guy being a goon. I could pre-log, but I don't care enough to do that. It'd be like right here, and that wouldn't have worked, so probably for the better. No, he's still going. Yeah, go for your graveyard. Go for it. No, you actually didn't. Just go for an exit, because why not? What are you doing? Listen, buddy, like, you know, you didn't have to say you hated me. And then now you're playing like this. I would rather you suck. Really? What is happening? You know, this gameplay is more insulting than the fact he said he hates me. We're just going to spam a Sparky. He wants to play like a goon. I'm going to play like a goon too. It takes a goon to know a goon. Alright. Nice NATO. Yeah, nice NATO. NATO the Sparky close to the tower. And the Sparky gets another shot to finish the game. Why would you... don't say well played. You know, screw you. Oops. That's what you deserve, buddy. I'm not even going to cut the video. Not even going to cut the video. That guy... I'm not a fan of what just happened. I'm not a fan of what just happened. I got insulted, won, and I don't even feel like I just got victory. It is what it is, I guess. Alright, up against Dadva Iconia. Iconica? I don't know. Anyway. What I wanted to talk about before I got rudely insulted by that guy and then he showed us his gameplay was like what my like top 3, please kill the magic character, thank you. Like top 3 best games of all time were. Because I talked about this briefly in the last video like this. And can you stop? And you know, I talked about it towards the end. I didn't really get to elaborate that much further, but this is what this is for. So, I mean, it's pretty hard, like, to say what the top 3 would be, like, because I know 2 of them, right? But then there's, like, a few other games that, like, kind of compete for the spot, and it's like, I don't know. Also, can this guy, like, what are these guys doing? Okay, I guess I will start off. I would say this is going to be 2nd or 3rd on the list. I'm not really sure. Like, I've never really had a full idea, and I didn't mean to do that with the log. I never really had like a full idea, like of what the favorites are. because it's a pretty close list. But we'll start off on the game I touched on earlier, which is Castle Crashers. Well, not earlier, but my previous video, which is Castle Crashers. Castle Crashers, just to summarize, it is a 2D hack and slash, like little platformer kind of game. And the objective of the game is you spawn in, you pick your character, and then this evil wizard flies and he's like, yo, what's up? And hello, motorcycle. And he's like, what's up? And then you have a king, and then he's like, yo, I want this crystal the king has. The king's like, nuh-uh. And he goes, yaha. And then he steals it from him. So then you have to go and steal the crystal back. Well, not steal the crystal back. You've got to retrieve the crystal back. It's not stealing. It was yours in the first place. Stun the bandit. Oh, the E-drag was beautiful. Anyway, you have to steal a crystal. Or, no, acquire the crystal. I just corrected myself and did the same thing again. Anyhow, so basically the goal of the game is to acquire the crystal. And you get through, like, the tutorial area, and then you face big boss. Wait, what? You face your first big boss. I don't know if I just said that or not. Too many things are happening right now. Like, I was trying to recover from the fact that I corrected myself, then, did the same thing again, and I was trying to explain, trying to play this game, and then trying to think about what the next part of the game was. So I'm not sure what I just said. I think I said big face the next boss, but I meant to say before, and then you face the first big boss. I think that's what I was trying to say. I don't even know at this point. You know what, screw it. This video is just not going to have any cuts, because why not? Alright, I've been Cerberus. Anyway, so you face the first big boss. There we go. I know English, by the way. And after that, before that actually, you see these princesses getting stolen. You have no idea who these people are. You just see like these women getting dragged on the ground, and then your first instinct is like, holy wow, X Dragon 7 has a reference in this game. But no, it's actually not him. So basically what happens is when you face the first big boss, or the big face big boss, however you want to say it at this point, you see that all the princesses are tied up. They're on like these wooden stakes. Their mouths are like shut. They can't speak. And they're trapped against their will. And so yeah, they're there, and you defeat the big boss, and then you get one of the princesses. So now, not only are you trying to get this gem back, you're trying to save all these princesses. So anyway, you explore through the rest of the game. You keep going. Eventually, you realize that after completing the first little bit of the game, which is about halfway through, you see this boat after defeating the first big face boss. And, you gotta get these three things. You gotta get your wheel, a compass, and a telescope. Because otherwise, you cannot operate the ship. And you need that to travel to the other part of the land. So now it's like, well, I also need to get these things too. So you need to get this crystal, you need to get these parts, and you need to save all the princesses. So eventually, you go through, and eventually you'll find a Cyclops, and then you steal the princess from him, and he's like, no, I wanted the princess, and you're like, yeah, sorry, bud, not happening. And not too soon after, not too far after that, I don't know, I just can't even speak words right now, I just really don't know. I'm trying to get this video in a bit of a rush, I don't know if you can tell or not, but anyway. A bit after that, you find another level, and then you'll find, I believe you find the steering wheel. So you're like, boom, steering wheel. So now I got the steering wheel. You go to where this blacksmith is, which has like all the weapons, and it has pets there. And you find your compass. That's the easiest one by far. And then before you like fight the Cyclops guy, there's this factory, and you try to get in, but unfortunately you're too weak. You can't open the door. So what you gotta do? You find the sandwich, and you eat the sandwich, and all of a sudden you become this big macho man. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger probably used those back in the day for his bodybuilding competitions. Because let me tell you, you get pretty big. And use that to bust down the door. You defeat him. He's carrying one of the princesses, and then he just like, boing, and he just throws her over, And then the evil wizard from earlier who got the crystal snatches her up again. And then, yeah. So, no princess, but there is a telescope there, which you need the cross. And then you do get your telescope. So it's like, alright, man, I get a little consolation prize. So now you find the cross. You get through all of that. You need to go to another area. And for this area, you, what do you call it? You're going to need something. You're going to need a map. So you have to defeat these guys in volleyball. You defeat them in volleyball. You get your map. After you get your map, you can explore the rest of the area. Now you need a horn to enter this like water temple. So after you get the horn, you enter the water temple, and now you can fully explore. You get through the rest of that. Eventually, you defeat this guy. I'm not going to spoil anything farther in case you want to play the game you haven't, because it's one of the games of all time. You defeat this guy, and you finally move on to the last portion of the game, which you defeat a bunch of the bad guys you saw earlier, and then you get the last princess, you get the crystal, defeat the wizard, and then come home back to where everything started, and then that is it. That is the game. So what I just gave you is a very brief and vague kind of summarization, but that's for the best. Also, like, can this guy just stop? Getting pretty annoying, honestly. I might actually lose this. I didn't even realize. No. Damn. I mean, it is what it is, I guess. Not too much I can do about that. Yeah, okay, so that is one of the games. And again, from what I told you, it doesn't sound all that fun. Or maybe it sounds fun, probably. But you're not getting the full picture. I made it sound a lot more simpler than it actually is. I'd use the full match to explain such a silly little game. And it is very... it doesn't take itself seriously, let's just say. So don't expect anything serious from that game. It is a good game, though. So it's either in my 2 or my 3. But we'll move on to the next one. And for the next game, we have a classic, Among the People. I'd say this is definitely like my number 1. And this is Dark Souls 1. Now, don't know what Dark Souls is. I'll try and give another brief summarization, which will probably take the entire match again. So, you load onto the game, choose your class, choose your name, blah blah blah, choose your customization. Then you spawn in, you learn that you were sent here to await the end of the world, and there's like nothing you can do about it. So you're like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna die here alone, not too different from real life. And then you think like, oh, I'm just stuck here forever, but nope. Your boy, the man, the myth, the legend, you don't know his name yet, but there's this knight that stops by, and he's like, huh, I'm gonna help you out. So he pushes a body down this hole into your cell, and all of a sudden you get a key to escape. And that is the man, the myth, the legend, Oscar. So, you get the key to escape, you escape. You enter this big old room after you explore a bit, and you see this big old demon guy, and like, huh, I want to beat him up. So you try and beat him up, and it's like, oh, he has a lot of health, and I do like no damage, so I'm probably not going to beat him up. So you find this door, you go there, walk through, get an actual weapon, and then eventually you go up these stairs, and then it's like, whoops, sorry, actually, you're not going up these stairs, and the big ball comes and crushes you. And you find a room, and Oscar must have dropped in because there's no way to actually physically get in that room before the boulder breaks it, and he's like, yo, I'm like dying and stuff, like, this is really sad. And he gives you a healing item, and he gives you a key, and he's like, please fulfill the prophecy, you know, I'm too weak to do it, but you can do it now. And it's like, oh, okay, I'll fulfill it, or like I won't fulfill it. Regardless, then you go up, you enter the room again, but then you realize that you're higher this time, so you can actually drop on the big fat demon. So you drop on the big fat demon, take care of him, you arrive in a place, and then after you arrive there, you go through the game. You're informed you gotta ring these 2 bells, so you go to, I think this guy just gave up. So you go to this church, defeat some bad guys, wha-bam, wha-pow, defeat them, 1 bell. You go down to the depths of the earth, and then wha-bam, wha-pow, you ring the other bell. And now you have a new objective, which is to get through this big old building, this fortress, and then you wabam wapow again. You get brought to the city where you fight these guys, wabam wapow. You go up this little elevator, and then it's like, yo, have this thingy. It'll let you go wherever you want. You're like, cool beans. And then now you could have learned this before, but depending on what you do, you learn that you need to kill these 4 people, and you got to get their souls, and then it'll let you fight the last big bad guy. So you wabam wapow, wabam wapow, wabam wapow, wabam wapow. You gotta do a bit more stuff before that. You gotta get certain items, get to certain places. Anyway, so you do all your wabam wapowing. You satisfy the task, and it's like, all right, we'll let you through now. Or you can also go to the game's DLC. That's up to you. That's pretty complicated though. And yeah, and then eventually you wabam wapow the last guy. And yeah, that is the game. I made that a lot simpler than it actually is. I could go into like a full depth, like actual thing of what you do, but I'm not going to do that. Plus, it's the end of the video, so most people are gone by now. I would highly doubt that more than 2 people are even like hearing this. And if you are, then I'd recommend trying these games if you haven't. And remember that in life, in order to become the one that you see, petting your 4K tissue box doesn't necessarily mean that the chest will always open the cat at the end of the day, so it's always good to remember that the cheese holes don't fill themselves and that the closet's always waiting for you. So hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Take care. If it'll let me cut. Well, not cut, I guess, end the video. Same thing.